Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Hassaballa in another episode of the Healthcare Musings podcast. I'm happy to have you with me. I wanted to begin a series about getting a job. There's a lot of things we learn in residency and fellowship. We learn the craft of whatever specialty that we're in, whether it's internal medicine, general internal medicine, hospital medicine, um, pediatrics, obstetrics and gynecology, general surgery. And then if we choose to specialize, then we go and do fellowship training, where again, we're learning the craft of whatever specialty. For me, it was pulmonary medicine, critical care medicine. For others, it's cardiology. For others, it's gastroenterology, otolaryngology, whatever, cardiovascular surgery. So the fellowship training and the residency training is great to teach us the craft, right, of what we're doing. What it doesn't teach us is the business side of medicine. Um, that's typically not taught, and that's a problem because at the end of the day, medicine is a business, um, and there are a lot of businesses that say if there's no margin, meaning there's no profit, then there's no mission. We can't do what we do, and the hospital business is a very tough business, and many, if not most hospitals, actually most hospitals are losing money, according to Kaufman and Hall, and they lose money on physicians. Actually, if you look at what Kaufman and Hall, they will detail how much money that they spend, that they lose on every physician that they employ. So it's a business, and our residencies and our fellowships are not designed to teach us about the business aspect of medicine, and that's very important, especially when we're coming out to get a job, because if we don't understand the business, we are liable to get harmed potentially because we don't understand the business. And physicians typically are very poor business people because that's not our job. Our job is to heal people, not to be effective businessmen and businesswomen. And so I wanted, and there are some, when I was in training, I got very little to no training about the business aspects of medicine, about contracts, employment, what I'm looking for. And the one that I did get left me more confused. So I wanted to start a series on healthcare musings about getting a job and the pitfalls and what kind of employment contracts out there, uh, and what to look for so that you don't get swindled, because that would be really unfortunate. And so but before we start, the first thing I wanted to talk about is the you know the thing about getting a job. All of us are, we're in residency and medical school, and then fellowship and residency and then fellowship. We're we're living, check to check when we're residency and fellowship. In school, we're borrowing money even to eat. We're ready to make that big paycheck. We see our attendings rolling into the hospital with their fancy cars, and we hear them talking about all their vacations and what they're doing, and we want to get there, right? It's natural. We want to start making the high salaries, and living a more comfortable life. It's understandable. There's just one thing as you start your job search that is so important for you to understand. If you are in a market and you see a just gargantuan salary, that to me is a red flag. Like, if this practice is paying way more than other practices in the area, that is not because they can't wait for you to join and they love you. Let me break it to you here, all who's listening to this. The world is not waiting for you to finish your residency and fellowship for you to join. Okay? They're not giving you that big salary because they love you and they just can't wait for Dr. Smith or Dr. Hassaballa or whoever to finish training, and they just love to give you all that money. No. Okay? That is not how the business works. They are, if somewhere is offering just eye-popping sign-on bonuses, eye-popping salaries, there's a reason. You have to ask why. If that's the first thing they show you, not what the job is like, what the facilities are like, what your life is like, how do you live in the community, what kind of, who are your colleagues, what the staff is like. what are the things, if the first thing they show you to get you in the door is just the salary, look at how much we're going to pay you, man, alarm bells should be going off. And you need to take a look at that offer very closely and figure out why. And let me break it to you. The world has not been waiting for you to finish your training. Okay, and if you think that that's the case, I am very sorry for you. Okay, so a huge salary, way more than what's typical in the market, to me is a big red flag. And you can look up what typical market. There's a company called ERI that has by city the average cash compensation for different specialties. If you have access to that data, that will be good to kind of give you a sense. It may not be necessarily 100% accurate. Every market's different. Every town is different. At the same time, it's pretty good. It gives you a sense of what's being paid in the market. If you can know that information, then and figure that out, that would be good. Um, it's important information with which to be armed in your job search. And I just want to, I just want to begin the series, and we'll go into more detail about different types of practices and what to look for and how to avoid being swindled. Um, just know an eye-popping salary and an eye-popping um, sign-on bonus is not because they love you and they can't wait till you finish. There's something to that, and you need to look further. Thanks so much for your time and attention. Until next time, this is Dr. Hassaballa signing off on the Healthcare Musings podcast.